object preserve order. Go into the folder that we've created for the custom meshes. Select all of the objects. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to fix the normals. And the reason why we're going to fix the normals is because you'll notice that the mesh has seams between the arms and the body, which you can see here. Alright, so now we're going to try and get rid of those seams. So let's select the face and let's select the body using the shift key. Okay, now put your cursor anywhere over the seam and click on and press the Alt plus D combo. Okay, this is going to duplicate the meshes. Let's press enter and then deselect linked. Okay, now that you've created the duplicates of these meshes, we're going to join these. So Control plus J, and I'm going to name this joined. Okay, so this is hide 0 and 1, so you can see what I'm going to do with the meshes. Okay, so we're joined. Click on Edit Mode, and then anywhere in the scene, press the M key. This is going to merge the meshes together, and you're going to select by distance. Okay, thereafter select the face mode for the edit selection. Then click on Edit, Normals, and then Set from Faces. Okay, and then click on Object Mode. You'll notice that the seams on this mesh is gone. So now we're going to use this mesh as a reference to transfer the normals to the other two meshes. So let's deselect that. Let's select this, and let's select that. Alright, with the first mesh selected, go into the Modifiers tab, click on Data Transfer, and then you click on the Join Mesh as a reference mesh. Okay, thereafter we're going to select Face Corner Data, and you're going to click on Custom Normals. Alright, you'll notice you get an error that says Enable Auto Smooth in Object Data Properties. So go to the Object Data Properties, which is the green icon. We're going to click on Normals, and we're going to click on Auto Smooth. Okay. Now select object 1, select object 0, and then click on Auto Smooth as well. Now go into your Modifiers tab and do the same thing again. Data Transfer, select Joined, Face Corner Data, and then Custom Normals. You'll notice that the seams have now disappeared. Okay, so now you've fixed the normals on these meshes. Okay, so now let's enable the Face Parts folder, which is going to serve as a reference as to where your eyes and mouth objects should be positioned. So let's hide the meshes that we don't need, so we can see the parts that we require. Alright, so now let's start by moving the objects that we require. So we can see the teeth from the 2K19 model, which is object 8. Go into Edit Mode, and then thereafter we can position this in the same place that the original teeth was. So let's go into Edit Mode, and we move this to where the original teeth object is. Alright, and we do this for all of the other meshes that require moving as well, the eyes and the mouth and etc. Okay, so once you're done with that, select the objects that you've edited. To say object 1 and 2, the eyes, etc. Edit, and you're going to select Export Wavefront Normals, and then deselect Rotate Model, and then we're going to click on OK, and we're going to put this into a folder that we're going to import. So I'm not going to do the step now just to save time. After exporting the meshes which have the normals fixed and which have the face objects positioned, you go back into X-ray, and then if you don't have your Y object already open the Y object that you're working with, in this case test, using the Control N option, and then go and inject the meshes back into the mesh by clicking on the import button, and then selecting the meshes which we've just exported from Blender. Okay. Do this for all of the meshes that you've just exported from Blender. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is fix the bones. So I'm just going to hide the meshes that we don't need to see at the moment. We just want to position the eye and mouth bones to align with the tongue and the eyes. So I'm just going to hide the stuff that we don't need. Okay, so let's go into the base model that we had, which was collection number 2. So let's go there. okay, you'll see that the bones are not aligned. Alright, so we want to move these to the correct position. So select the skeleton, and you're going to click on pose mode. Okay, and then thereafter we're going to go into selecting these bones here. And we're going to move this into the correct position. Okay, so we're going to move this to where the eyes are, and we're going to move these bones to where the teeth are. Okay, you can check it from the front as well just to make 100% sure. Alright, so now that you've selected, now that you've positioned the bones, let's export these as well. So select the bones that we've positioned, so let's find them. So I would say select everything from the J neck right up to the JI. Okay, using the shift key, and then thereafter we're going to export the bones. So we're going to click on edit, Takken-57 utilities, and we're going to select export selected bone transforms. Okay, let's put this into the same folder. The file name that is giving it gunther2k19.txt is fine. You can change the name if you want, but it's not required. Okay, so now we can open up this model using the Ctrl+B option in X-ray, and then thereafter we're going to import the bones. Okay, and we're going to select the file. So click on the inject multiple bones from one collada button, and then select the gunther2k19.txt file. Okay, and this will import the bones for you. Alright, so now that we have the object rigged, the bone position, this should work correctly in game. However, the model still does not know which materials to assign to each of the meshes. Alright, so now let's get our textures into this folder. Alright, so I'm just going to quickly talk about how to prepare your textures. If you look at the textures from the 2K23 model, the body color texture doesn't really need much preparation. However, you'll notice that on the top left corner, the UV mapping of the mouth objects are different between 2K23 and 2K19. So if you select the entire texture, you copy this, go into 2K19 texture, you paste this in Photoshop, and then you just cut off the section where the mouth area textures appear. If you don't do this, you'll notice that your mouth area and teeth, etc. won't have the correct mapping. So I'm just going to cut that off. Let's take all of this out. Alright, so this is fairly straightforward. You save the color texture as DXT1. For the MR texture, the roughness map is actually in the blue channel of the normal map for the in 2K23. So we can select this channel. We can go into the MR, paste this in the blue channel. You click on Image, Adjustments, Invert, and this will give you the correct MR texture map. So the blue texture that you've just copied, you need to make this white. So select white. And let's make this area white completely. Okay, thereafter copy the entire texture and paste it into your normal map. Okay, and there you have your normal map prepared. So I'm just going to copy these textures and put them into the tutorial folder that we're working with. Alright, and let's open up our test model again. Alright, and now let's just click on the button that says Edit Materials. This will just give you a list of materials and the material IDs which are assigned to these materials. So click on the param name, which will sort this alphabetically. click on copy values, and then just open up Notepad and paste this into Notepad. Alright, so now you need to go into each mesh and ensure that the parameters have been set correctly. So right click, and we're going to select edit shader params. Okay, so for the first one, the textures that we are looking for is the body textures. So we're looking for all color. Okay, so it's 6. So look at the diffuse parameter. This is already assigned 6, which is correct. Okay, and then the next option you have is for the normal map. So let's check what the normal map value is, and the normal map value is 7, which is correct. Then we also want to check the MR texture, which is assigned, which is material roughness map param, and that's 93, and all color MR is also 93, so that is correct. Alright, so these are fine. Now we want to do the same for the head as well. Okay, so let's check these. The diffuse param is set as 1, normal map is set as 2. So we want to check what the head is. 1 and 2, correct? And then the material roughness map is 92, which is also correct. Alright, so you need to do this for every single mesh that you've created. So let's just do another one where I already have the texture prepared, which is the shoes. So, okay, so let's edit shader params. And let's look for shoes. Okay, so you've got 7A, 7C, and 7B. 7A, 7B, and material roughness is 98. Okay, I also have a value for 98, which is also correct. Alright, so we have the meshes assigned the correct parameters. Alright, so now that we have our model and our textures prepared, let's do a quick test in game to see if the model works fine. So we can open up this pack file, which is included in the directory, which is a ch93302 pack file. I have this assigned to the Van Hammer mod. You can rename this to whatever you would like. Okay, so I'm just going to use this pack as is for testing. So once it's open, double click the file name. We're going to hit compress and inject to select the model that we've just created, which is test. Alright, and then after you can go and inject your body textures and your head textures just to test. I'm just going to do the body. I've already done the head textures. Alright, thereafter you copy this pack file and then you paste it into the pack ch folder of your game directory. And then we can test this in game. Alright, and we tested, and you can see that the model moves correctly. The textures we've assigned is displaying correctly in game. Alright, so now let's move on. Let's work on the masking. Now the reason why you would need masking is because sometimes you have body parts which clip through the attire, and we need to mask these objects so that they don't appear in game. So the way in which we're going to do this is we're going to go into settings, and we're going to enable the option that says export all faces advanced. Select true, and then you click on save settings. Alright, and then thereafter we're going to open up our Y object file. So let's open up the test Y object file. Alright, and then thereafter we're going to export the body and the head meshes. Okay, now importantly, you need to name these correctly. So in order for the script to work, I'm using the C editor, which was created by POSM, to actually create the masking file. So the logic in that tool requires the head object to be named object 0 and the body object to be named object 1 object 2, object 3, etc. if you have multiple body parts. So we're going to export this and we're going to call this object 0. Okay, and then we're going to export the body and we're going to call that object 1. Alright, then we're going to create a new scene in Blender. Okay, and we're going to import the two objects that we've just exported from X-ray. So select the two objects that we want to import. Alright, so now let's, for the purpose of this tutorial, let's mask the hand on the right side. So we're going to edit mode, go into face selection, and select just the and now we're going to select the parts of the hand that we want to mask. You can also turn on the X-ray option if you want to select both sides. So let's do that. And then if I want to select the entire hand, we're going to click on select linked. Alright, so then we have the entire right hand selected. Get out of object mode, get back into object mode, select the head mesh. By default, Blender has all of the faces selected when you import these. So it's important that you select this and you click anywhere in the scene to deselect all of the faces that are selected. If you do not do this, the entire face will be masked and it will not appear in game. We don't want to apply any masking to the face at this stage, so we don't have to do it. If you wanted to, you could do the same, select a part, and then we could export the mask for the face and the body, but we're not doing anything for the face. So let's deselect all the meshes. Let's go into object mode. I'll select both of these objects by using the Shift key. I'm going to click on Edit, Takken-57 Utilities, and we're going to click on the... Alright, we can call this mask list. Alright, this will create a text file for us. Now, if you go into the Blender rig base folder, you'll see that I've included C Editor version 2, which is Posm's tool, which I've made a few changes to accommodate custom meshes. We're going to go into File, Import Faces, and we're going to select the mask list that we've just created. Okay, this will create a mask list for you, and then we're going to click on File, Save. Okay, the file name 00C is fine. We will click on Save. And then thereafter, we're going to import this into our pack file. So let's go compress and inject and use the 00C file. Okay, let's test this again and let's see what happens. So let's just go into the highlight layer so we can see that a bit better. Okay, you'll notice that now the right hand has been completely masked and it's missing. Alright, so now that our model is working, everything is rigged correctly and the masking has been done, the only thing that's left to do is to assign facial animations to the model. I've already done a tutorial on how to assign facial animations to your model very quickly without having to sculpt animations. This is done by copying the facial animations from a head mesh which already has animations assigned to your custom mesh. So the procedure is exactly the same. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this tutorial. This method that I've described is a lot quicker than using the NIF method previously used with 3D Studio Max. So you should be able to create your mods much faster. I hope this tutorial has been helpful to you. And until next time, happy modding.